Bravery doesn't come easy. Hours upon hours of training and hard work goes into making someone brave enough to fight, to kill without much of a reason. Soldiers are often seen as the bravest of society, the men who will march into battles without the slightest fear of losing their own lives. But this isn't true. Soldiers didn't always have a choice to fight in wars. In both world wars, men were conscripted to fight because of a draft that required all men in the United States of a certain age to enter the military and slaughter the enemy on the front lines. Men were coming home traumatized by the horrors they saw and experienced. Pearl Harbor was an event that left lasting impression on Americans in more ways than one. Pearl Harbor was a turning point for all Americans, the soldiers that were conscripted for their families and for their friends. Long after the war had ended, though, America had somewhat forgotten the soldiers that fought for them overseas. They forgot the lives lost and spirits damaged. The veterans didn't know. For the rest of their lives, they would remember the friends they lost, the relationships that were, and the haunting nights when they saw the faces of the men and boys they were ordered to slaughter. There are several first-hand accounts reported, such as Donald Stratton's personal account of Pearl Harbor. Donald Stratton was a simple sailor in the Navy aboard the USS Arizona during the time of the attack. In his account, he describes in great detail what happened over the span of the attack, with every bit of new information that came his way, such as the fact that Japanese carriers launched 183 planes from their decks. He remembers hearing the drone of the aircraft, engines, and bombs exploding on Ford Island, and looking around to see the ships around him were being struck by the Japanese bombs. After having run to his battle station on the ship, USS Arizona had been struck by a bomb as well. The fire spread rapidly, and Stratton realized that his shirt had caught fire, burning his arms and back. His legs were burned from ankle to thigh, his face was seared, and his hair was singed off, with part and beard gone. Stratton had suffered burns over 65% of his body and spent a total of 10 months in a military hospital, and after having recovered from the burns, for the most part, he was medically discharged. However, he chose to re-enlist after being discharged and continue to fight for his country into World War II. Stratton said that he wrote the account of the bombing so that his grandkids and all of the children after them could understand why the history of the bombing matters. In Stratton's eyes, America was a country worth fighting for, both before and after having fought and served. Being able to defend America from harm was and still is extremely important to him because America is his home and the home of his loved ones. Men who would go to defend America after the events in Pearl Harbor often sung songs as they marched into war. One of the more famous songs was Remember Pearl Harbor. As the men would march into battles in World War II, they would sing Remember Pearl Harbor as a way to remind them of why they were fighting in the first place. The soldiers sang, "We'll recall us until I may fall," the thing that happened on Hawaii's shore, and that they would remember Pearl Harbor as they met the foe. Singing this short song was a way to boost morale among the men, giving them something to fight for. The soldiers would be reminded that if they didn't fight, a tragedy like the events on Pearl Harbor would occur in their homeland again. The song itself was adapted later on with an instrumental background, mostly consisting of horns and sung by a choir of men. Later on, it was adapted by Sammy Kaye and Swing and Sway. This version of the song was played in war bond fundraisers to raise money for the war. Songs like these pushed men to keep on fighting or fight harder to defend American soil. Many men, no matter the age, were ready to join the war after the attack on Pearl Harbor. In William Faulkner's Two Soldiers, the story of a man, essentially a boy, getting pulled into World War II is depicted. Outside of a parlor window, the story of two soldiers begins with two brothers. Both of the boys sit listening to the radio that is turned all the way up and first learn about what has happened and why. The narrator, the youngest of the two boys, whose name is unknown, is naive and doesn't understand what has happened overseas. He wants to join his brother Pete and be a soldier, but he is too young. Pete represents almost every boy who joined the army at the time. Joining the army was not so much about wanting to be a hero, but rather the desire to defend America from harm and danger. Repeatedly, Pete expressed that he needed to go because he ain't just going to put up with no folks treating the United States that way. For Pete, going to the wars wasn't just for fun. A man don't leave his mom crying just for fun. The struggle in the family is evident, as the mother and father resist the idea of letting their eldest son head off to what they knew would be a very bloody war. The mother was worried that she was going to lose her son, saying that she would rather go herself in his place if she could. The strain on a family is definitely a noticeable one, but the strain on Pete was even greater as he was heading into a war in which he had no experience of fighting. Many of the boys who went to fight had no idea what they were doing, but they knew one thing: they were going to remember Pearl Harbor as they fought. The families that they had left behind barely changed, and the cities and towns that were once their home were no longer something I recognized. In Ernest Hemingway's Soldier's Home, veteran Harold Krebs experiences these emotions as he returns home after a bit of time has passed since World War I has ended, and finds that little has changed beside himself. After the war ends, men are coming home and being welcomed as heroes, but Harold Krebs has a different experience in his homecoming because of how late his return really is in comparison to other soldiers. His family had barely changed except for their age, and his hometown was just the same. His bravery was not seen by others outside of his family, and he was not celebrated as a hero who fought for his country. America was less his home now, and more just another country he was living in. Krebs didn't know what he wanted to do with his life now that he was back home, and both his mother and father are beginning to worry that he has lost his ambition and will to work for himself. At one point, Krebs actually admitted to his own mother that he didn't love anybody. War was haunting him constantly, and he felt as if upon returning back home, he had no more life to live. He didn't want to seek a girl because it wasn't worth it. You don't need to find a girl unless you thought about them. And evidently, Krebs did not have thoughts for girls now. Bravery was required of Krebs off the battlefield too, for if he didn't find a way to move forward with his life, he would be stuck in a home he didn't know and lost in his mind. Although the story of Krebs was a fictional one, several soldiers had similar experiences as Krebs being in the war, and these experiences were what made coming back home increasingly difficult. During the war, some soldiers described their feelings in written works such as diaries or journals. Matthew Chopin, a soldier of the Middle Western 89th Division of the United States Army, wrote several entries in his memoir called Through the Valley of Death. His title alluded to the fact that the trenches were quite similar to the Valley of Death due to the amount of gas and death the men in them were exposed to. In the trenches, Chopin shares that as he was preparing to march across the front lines, his thoughts drifted back to home and his mother, and he held on to the little French card and handkerchief in his gas mask that was to be mailed to his mother. As he walked through the fields of what was once his family's home country, France, he thought of his father's boyish feet, which had trodden many times the very ground on which he stood, and wondered if he too would live in France, but simply in a grave on the land. Being in a war had caused Chopin to have terrible memories to come home with, but he understood why men went to the wars. He understood that by fighting he was protecting his family from afar. Chopin was one of the lucky ones. He joined the battles in the trenches of World War II late enough that he and his division knew about the gas that would be launched. Many of the soldiers who had come into battle earlier were not so lucky. Similarly to Chopin, artist John Sargent painted an image to show the pain of war called gas. The gas that was launched into trenches by the enemy was toxic, deadly, and vile. Mustard gas was an unknown evil early on in the war, launched into the pits to make men easier to kill. In John Singer Sargent's oil painting Gassed, British soldiers are seen following each other into an evacuation checkpoint with their eyes bandaged from the mustard gas. The haunting image is painted through the eyes of Americans for the most part, as Sargent grew up in America but spent most of his life in Europe. Soldiers that followed each other blindly can represent more than what they were in reality then. They themselves can represent the country. Each country was blindly following the other into war, in which the only outcome would be numerous deaths. America was no different. Men were going overseas to fight a war that was never really theirs to begin with. The soldiers were simply following orders and blindly following each other into battle. The painting shows the harrowing pain and stupidity of war that is blatantly obvious. Soldiers who came back home didn't always see this and were returning with PTSD to their families who could never understand what they went to. Bravery doesn't come easy. A soldier coming back to a country they fought for, lost an arm or leg for, or worse, lost their mind for, is like returning to a country that they no longer recognize. They fought to protect their loved ones, but in that fight did they lose themselves. America through the eyes of a veteran war soldier is different than through the eyes of any other citizen. America looks less like and more like another battlefield that must be waded through. America looks like the country that required them to go out and slaughter dozens of innocent men after getting into a war that endangered their loved ones' lives. At the end of it all, America is not home anymore. America is unrecognizable and unfamiliar in every single way.